So, now that I finished Dark Souls, I did think about making another episode, stuff like that, about exploring secrets or some kind of things that I missed or stuff like that. But in the end, as you can see, I decided on doing a tier list. I feel like that will be more interesting for me and for you as well. So it will look like this. I don't know, maybe I should change S tier to some kind of different color at least. So yeah, so basically F tier is the worst, S tier is the best. I don't know why S tier is the best in all of these tier lists. Doesn't make really any sense since S is not like the last letter in the alphabet or anything like that, but oh well, we will just go with the familiar template. So, starting off with Asylum Demon. This guy was not strong, he was not like weak also when I first tried to beat him and stuff like that. Since we had that little chipped sword and stuff like that, he did feel quite intimidating, I'll give him that. Overall, I think I'll put him in D. It feels like a good place for this dude, because he was way too slow to really I don't remember, did I die to him or not? I kinda feel like I didn't. Uh, Maybe I did, I don't know. But yeah, he felt sluggish, he did land a couple of blows onto us, but he did his job. He was like the first boss, he looked intimidating, and I was like stressed about fighting him, because his face was really ugly. Alright, so the second one, the Taurus Demon. I kind of feel like Taurus Demon was even easier than Asylum one. I don't really know why. Maybe because there was that ladder and I could do those plunge attacks over and over again. Maybe that's why. But yeah, it definitely felt easier. So the ones who I think were easier I will put on this side. Further away from the actual letter. So the third boss that I encountered, as far as I remember, was Capra Demon. Man, this fella, this guy, the boss itself was not even that hard, but it just gave huge amounts of stress for me, at least, knowing that if I lose to him, then I need to go all that way back through all of those enemies, those little assassins and those stray dogs that were jumping in my face and stuff like that. At that time I also didn't know, at least I think I didn't know, that you can empower those bonfires. So I think I had less flasks than I could have had, and yeah, so it did pose quite a challenge to get to him and then have enough flasks to outlast the two dogs that were in the boss room, and then after all of that fight the boss and kill him. The boss patterns were not that bad, it was just that when you walk into the boss room, instantly the two dogs are on you, and from the first couple of attempts I remember I was feeling that I just cannot get past the dogs on either side. They are just blocking me in, and I get striked overhead by Capra Demon himself. So for me, considering all of what I just said, this fella, in terms of difficulty, I think I should. I'm considering tier A, but for now I will leave him in B, because he definitely was really hard, for me at least. Definitely, yeah. Alright, the next one. Yeah, I kind of went through my videos, and I guess Stray Demon was fourth boss which I encountered. So this guy, the first time, like, when I went to him, he definitely felt like I won't be able to kill him at all. But I don't think you were supposed to get to him, back to him, I mean, that quickly. I think he was meant for a bit later, and when I did go back to him later, then he felt quite easy indeed. I'm thinking if I should like put him next to Asylum Demon and Taurus Demon or not. I'm starting to feel like these guys should go down here and he goes in D, something like that. So we have more room for other bosses. So the Bell Gargoyles, gosh, these guys for me in difficulty definitely would go like in S tier, for when I like first fought against them. Like the first guy was, I think if you watched, you know that the first guy wasn't that difficult for me. His attacks felt slow, I could block them in time and roll out of the way and hit him back quite easy enough. The problem was when the second dude started to come closer, like I was already worried, oh gosh, there's a second guy. But then when he pulled out that fire area attack, that's when I like understood that this is not gonna be a easy fight. Because yeah, I just couldn't like get back to that first dude that I was fighting because of the fire area attack, you know. I just couldn't really get close enough to properly finish either of those dudes off. And if that wasn't bad enough, the first guy also started to spew fire, so yeah, for me that fight felt so unfair for like my gear and damage level and overall like experience in game. I did not like fight any like difficult bosses before like these Bell Gargoyles, and it felt like the difficulty just went out of the roof compared to like everything else that I faced before. So yeah, so these guys for now I will like let them stay in A tier because they were easy. Like after I got weapon upgrades, they indeed were like an easy boss to beat. But for me in my run, I didn't like upgrade my sword. I don't know. I wanted to see, I guess, how far can I get with unupgraded sword or something like that. And because of that, these guys are now probably gonna stay in A tier. So the next one, Moonlight Butterfly. This was quite a joke of a boss. I think this is like the first boss from all of these that I actually did not like by design. Because yeah, it felt like a dodging simulator. It didn't feel right that I couldn't really attack him back when I first encountered him. Maybe there should have been, I don't know, maybe they could have made him like a ranged battle specifically. Maybe leave some kind of like bow and arrows like next to the entrance to the boss fight or something like that. Because when I didn't have a bow and just a sword, and he was not like, I didn't know that he was going to land. He wasn't like landing, and I was thinking like, damn, what the heck is this boss fight? Are you seriously like not supposed to like fight him with sword? Do I really need to get a bow? And I was just getting frustrated because like I couldn't figure out what was going on with this boss. So yeah, I didn't like that. Or maybe he should have like fly down faster or something like that, so you can you can hit him more frequently or something like that. Deal maybe less damage or something like that. I don't know. I just didn't like didn't dig this boss at all. Felt way too gimmicky for me. I did not like it at all. Yeah. I don't know if I want to put it in like F tier. Probably not. Maybe I should move these up there. Let him stay in E. Something like that. Now comes this big guy. Yeah, yeah, this guy was quite troublesome for me. I really disliked his hitbox, which was quite obnoxious. He was not like doing even how to say, like any like targeted attacks or stuff like that, and he just like hit you because he started moving or he was turning or something like that, and his body just like nudged you a little bit and you were taking insane amount of damage from this dude. Yeah, I did not like this guy because he also didn't feel like he was like specifically targeting me. He was like just raging around the place and stuff like that, so it was kind of weird. Sometimes you like couldn't even like figure out if what kind of attack is he gonna do because he was not like looking at you. For example, there was like in one of like first of my tries, he was just like running all around the place, and I couldn't figure out like what is going on when do I get to attack him, and I just went way too close to him, and he started to run off in a like random direction, and he just killed me by like knocking me with his like knee. Something like that happened. So yeah, this guy just felt, I don't know, he just felt like he didn't care about me. It felt like he was like just raging and like trashing around for no reason, and I didn't like the hitbox on him. I really did not. Like a couple of times he attacked, he missed me, but I guess I was close enough to the like splash area of his attack that it hit me. Uh, yeah, this guy I did not enjoy fighting against him. I think this fella goes next to the Moonlight Butterfly, honestly. Well, it's better than Butterfly, but still, I think it goes in E. Now Pinwheel. Pinwheel was quite a weird one because I had because of like how difficult the catacombs were. At least for me, like figuring out where all of those like necromancers were fighting off those reanimating skeletons and stuff like that. It was like, ooh, it was quite a journey to get to this guy. And when I got to him, like his intro was, I don't know, quite menacing and intimidating. And when I actually got to fight him, well, at first I thought, oh, okay, so there are many dudes. So basically you need to kill each one of them to win this battle. Okay, alright. Well, that's interesting. But no, it turns out he just like duplicates himself, and one of those, like, if you keep track of him, then it's like the easiest boss fight ever. He just, I don't know, he does 1 or 2 attacks per 30 seconds with that fireball. That's like nothing. So I think this boss is like the first one that I wanna chuck into F tier. He was, I don't know, didn't feel like I was really fighting a boss. Like at least Moonlight Butterfly was chucking many abilities at me, and I had to dodge a lot. This dude, I took him out like, I don't know, on second or third attempt. Yeah, this guy wasn't as cool as his cutscene was. Now, Sif the Wolf, I feel like I kinda did dirty. I did him dirty by having the Black Knight's greatsword, because actually his attacks were quite swift and they were not that like easy to dodge. He did kill me quite quickly in the first attempt when I didn't dodge his attacks. My health bar also wasn't that big and my resistances weren't that high. So I also, yeah, I specifically like looked up for him, like how other people were doing against him, because I felt like I was just overpowered against this guy. And yeah, truth be told, this fella actually looked like he posed a bit of a challenge against other people. But what I also looked like at my footage, and what I noticed in my second attempt when I beat him is that he had the same weakness as Quelaag, which we will be talking about next. He's like swing attacks with the sword. If you ran close enough to him or underneath like his body between his legs or something like that, he just like couldn't hit you with the sword. He was swinging around you, and he wasn't even landing attacks on me. So that was a big oversight on his like mm, in his development or something like that, I should say. Maybe they intended it to be like that. Um, who knows? So he had a big weakness. He obviously was a lot cooler than all of these dudes. In terms of difficulty, I probably should move this guy up over here, honestly. um, yeah, probably go up there in front of all of those guys. Even though I hate him, he can stay over there. I feel like... yeah, once I get more of these dudes up there, then it's easier to understand who is like stronger than the other ones and who is like who deserves to be at the very bottom. Maybe I will put Moonlight Butterfly also in the F tier later. I will see how I feel about everything. So Chaos Switch Quelaag. I kinda didn't like that. She had that big nest guarded by orcs and stuff like that, and we went into the big nest and we see like those with parasites inflicted humans or whatever hollows, and I was like gearing up feeling like, oh gosh, this area is gonna be disgusting if I have to fight guys like these all the time who like throw little enemies at me. Oh my gosh. I felt like I was gonna be stuck in that area like for ages, but as it turns out, you only need to beat Chaos Switch Quelaag and then it's over. And there's like no crazy area or anything like that. You just fight her and that's it. And the fight itself, um, for the first time when I fought her, she did feel unfair because of that like explosion which was killing me all the time. But I did not realize at the time when I was like doing my first, I don't know how many 10 attempts or something like that. I did not realize that her like human body was, how to say, like giving a hug to her spider body once the explosion was about to happen. I only noticed that in my like New Game Plus run when I needed to get to the DLC because I accidentally finished the game. I only noticed that then, and when I noticed that, then the fight became so easy because she had the same weakness as I mentioned, like the Great Grey Wolf Sith. She was missing with the sword. You could run close enough to her like spider body, and she just couldn't hit you with the sword. And the lava attacks, all of them were quite slow, and the lava accumulation was way too slow in the area, so it wasn't really a big deal. It was not like that you needed to run away from the area where you were fighting her and like search for a place where there is no lava to start fighting her again. She was pretty easy, but I guess I'll leave her. No, honestly, maybe I should put her. No, I'll leave her with the Grey Wolf. Yeah, they were about the same in difficulty. Now this guy, as I call him, the father, the Chaos Father, I felt like he was weird. I couldn't understand is like this guy really meant to do like just one single attack, like how he was doing against me. He was just slamming that one hand down all the fucking time and doing nothing else. Like I expected when I first saw him, I don't know, like for him to do like some kind of fire breath attacks, and he had so many like little hands and stuff like that. I thought there would be like many interesting like interactions with him. Also, I didn't understand why was he like standing still all the time. When I like went to him to fight him, he was just like standing still and not doing anything. Uh, yeah, that was also quite weird. The fight itself, I felt like it was quite difficult. I was not able to dodge like many of his attacks because they were coming down so quickly. Yeah, I had a hard time against him, honestly. I luckily had that great like armor set from Darkroot Garden, which I found the Guardian armor set, I think, and it had great resistances. So yeah, thanks to that, I beat him. That was the only like reason why I was able to beat him. I feel like otherwise he would have just smashed me if I had the lighter armor with less resistance and stuff like that. For now, yeah, he wasn't as. Maybe he was. I don't know. I don't feel like he was as difficult as Capra Demon. Maybe he was. Who knows? For me, it didn't feel like it. It just felt like I didn't dodge in time all of the time. So yeah. So we'll leave him in C for now. Iron Golem. This dude was surprisingly easy. I don't know why the heck did I added that feature that he got staggered. Honestly, I can put him even over here. He wasn't difficult at all when I think about it. Maybe, yeah, put him like that. Gaping Dragon was much harder than Iron Golem. Honestly, I feel like Gaping Dragon was even harder than Ceaseless Discharge, but oh well. Let's leave it like this for now. Yeah, so Iron Golem, I definitely did not feel like they needed to add that feature that he falls down if you hit him enough times. That was silly, I think. You just did a whole bunch of free damage on him for no reason. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Or maybe I just like got lucky because I had the great sword or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't go in the same way for everybody. The only like difficult part about this boss fight was the small area on which you were fighting him. Also, in my new game plus run, I didn't kill the giant who was throwing like those fire bombs, and if you don't kill that guy, then this fight becomes a lot tougher because you need to also look out for exploding like fireballs. So for now, yeah, I'll let him sit over there. He wasn't difficult. Now, the only like fight that I knew about before playing this game, Ornstein and Smough, these guys. These guys were indeed difficult, but I did not like one feature about this fight. I did not like that after you beat one of the dudes that the fight became super easy, even though there was that whole cutscene with the guy who you left alive. That for me, it was Smough, I think. Yeah, the fat dude. He was left like. Uh, I killed him last, and when the cutscene was rolling, that he got empowered and stuff like that, I totally expected like for him to get some kind of, I don't know, damage boost or something like that. But no, he hit me many times. Uh, After I killed like Ornstein, he hit me many times and I didn't die, and I just finished the match even though he was full health. He just like couldn't do anything against me. It was super easy to kill him. So yeah, so all the difficulty was like uh, just because of Ornstein. I feel like Smough was super easy to deal with. Ornstein was super fast, so he was doing all of the attacking basically. And in my New Game Plus run, when Ornstein was doing more damage, it became super hard, like this boss fight, uh, because he was like basically able to two-shot me, Ornstein. I mean, Smough wasn't even. I don't think he was even getting close to me. I was just doing the same thing as in the main run, where I just ran around the pillars and Smough couldn't get to me. Ornstein jumped to me, and then I tried to kill Ornstein before dealing with Smough. Yeah, this fight is weird. I really like the fight though. Don't get me wrong. I really like the design of the fight. Uh, Both dudes looked cool. They definitely fit in with the aesthetic of Anor Londo, and they were even foreshadowed. We saw those like statues on the walls and stuff like that. So yeah, that was really cool. I do enjoy that game. Like gives you previews, or I don't know, tells you something about bosses that you will be fighting in future and stuff like that. Overall, by design, this fight was amazing. By difficulty, I feel like I should probably leave it next to Gargoyles, for me at least. I don't know, maybe for somebody else it was harder. For me, it stays in A for now. So apparently the next one was Seath the Scaleless. This guy was quite a joke. I did not enjoy this boss fight. I feel like, honestly, I might put him over here. Like, he was not difficult at all. Mm, well, he was stronger than these dudes, but I feel like I did not like his boss fight. Like, you see him in the cutscene at the start of the game, so you would assume that the guy would be like, I don't know, crazy, like a big boss fight, or maybe I just had too many expectations because of Elden Ring. I don't know. But this guy really fell short of my expectations. I did not like that he had like so little variety in his attacks, and they were just like area attacks. They weren't like directly aimed at me really. Um, yeah, I did not find myself enjoying this boss fight. It really did not live up to my expectations, so I think I will leave it with Moonlight Butterfly for now. Uh, okay, maybe I will put the butterfly. No, leave it like that for now. So, Demon Firesage. This guy, I did not like this guy. He was just a repeat of Stray Demon, basically. The only difference was that he had more health and dealt more damage. He was stronger than Stray Demon, obviously. But yeah, we will leave him next to his buddy in D. The next one is Centipede Demon. This one was quite a weird one. I did not understand why the heck was he like um, placed over there on the wall. When I remember many times I was like trying to figure out if he will attack me when I was going across the bridge, shooting arrows at him, and he was like not moving, and I couldn't figure out what the heck is that like thing. Is that just like a bug or a thing that creators just forgot and left in game or something like that? The fight itself wasn't that hard. The main difficulty of this fight was the small platform on which you were fighting it. I feel like I should probably leave it over here. I should move this guy over there. Quelaag was harder than Sif, so something like this. Centipede Demon was not hard. He just, yeah, it just was in small space, so that made it a bit difficult. Honestly, I should move Gaping Dragon up. Yeah, Gaping Dragon is harder. Iron Golem can stay over there, Centipede Demon behind Iron Golem. Something like that. Man, I just want to like... I wanna... those like bosses that I didn't like, I just want to like throw them down in the garbage because I just did not enjoy fighting against them. And speaking about bosses against which I didn't like fighting against, this guy or thing or whatever bug, this is just straight F. It's worse than Pinwheel. I don't know who the heck designed this, and I don't understand why did I have to play a platformer level in Dark Souls where everything is about fighting. It was definitely worse than Moonlight Butterfly. It somehow is worse than Pinwheel. So yeah, it definitely deserves like to be over here. I did not enjoy this boss fight one bit. The run back was annoying because I had to put on that lava resistance ring all of the time when I needed to run back, and it took a long time to get back. I had to change armor repeatedly so I would get back faster. It was just annoying through and through. And when you finally got to the little bug that was controlling everything, yeah, that was what the fuck was that? That I didn't feel any gratification when I killed him. Like this was supposed to, this was like supposed to be Witch of Izalith, and like her daughters like ran that whole chaos and fiery domain and stuff like that. And I don't know exactly what happened, but I guess they were reduced to like this thing, whatever it is, the bed of chaos. I really did not enjoy this fight. So yeah, it's going in F. Nito was another disappointment. I really had looked forward to fighting him. In that like intro cutscene at the start of the game, I really digged his look. I thought he would be like, well, he kind of was like a necromancer because he had all of those like skelly dudes attacking me and stuff like that. But yeah, his attacks weren't like deadly, and he was like killing all of his soldiers. I think they needed to make so that he like couldn't kill his like own spawned skeleton like warriors and stuff like that. Otherwise, yeah, it was just too easy, way too easy. Once I got close to him, he didn't have like any fast attacks that could really like kill me instantly and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, I finished him in one try attempt. Yeah, so this fight also fell quite short of my expectations in terms of difficulty. It obviously was like more difficult than Asylum Demon and Taurus, but it wasn't more difficult than Stray Demon for some reason. I don't know how did they manage to make it like that. I definitely struggled more versus Stray Demon, even though I had the big demon like Black Knight sword against both of these dudes. So I guess I'll leave him there. I don't know where to put him. It feels so weird to put like a major boss so low on the list, but I did not find him to be difficult or interesting. I don't know. The Four Kings. This also for me will go into probably D. I think it'll go over here. Yeah. I feel like the fight was difficult. The only reason why I lived was because I had strong armor against this guy. And a couple of times I was really close to dying, but I didn't really perish because I had enough time to chug my potions. And I guess I had enough like damage to not get surrounded by all of those guys, because it seemed like if you were slow enough in killing them, then they would like just surround you or something like that. So yeah, but I didn't really like the boss fight because all of the dudes are doing the same thing. Like artistically, they could have made it more interesting, like different attack patterns or weapons or something like that. They should have switched something up at least. Now comes Gwyn. Gwyn, I actually like the Gwyn, um, but yeah, he wasn't like cool enough to be the last fight of the game. He at least posed a pretty good challenge for me. I think I will put him over here. His attacks were quite fast and they were proving to be difficult to avoid because of my great sword that I was like using all of the time. So I really liked that he was like forcing me to change my playstyle to be able to beat him. Yeah, because I basically once I got that Black Knight sword, I just steam ran through almost every boss that I couldn't beat before. And yeah, at least Gwyn required me to like change up my style and start dodging a lot more and stuff like that. So yeah, props to that. Not much to say about the boss fight itself really. His attacks were pretty one-dimensional, like just swings and stuff like that. I kind of really missed that he didn't have a cutscene for himself. Uh, yeah, didn't feel like that big ending that you would expect at the end of your like long journey. So yeah, he goes in A. Yeah, I feel like that's a good place for him. I feel like honestly, Gaping Dragon is moving up. I feel like I feel like that fight was difficult for me, more than any of like these dudes underneath it. Now, yeah, the DLC bosses. Oh gosh, these guys are something else. Like, when compared to the rest of the game, these guys were just something else. Sanctuary Guardian? Uh, man, it wasn't that difficult for me. Like, for me, it would go over here, I feel like. The main problem with this guy was that he didn't have enough HP. If he had more HP, then this fight would actually be difficult. Even though I was in New Game Plus, I could shred this dude quite easily. Yeah, he didn't pose a lot of challenge. He did deal a lot of damage and had really quick attacks, which were hard to dodge. Um, the only thing holding this dude back from being, I don't know, maybe up in A tier was his HP pool. I was just able to overwhelm him with my, like, attack damage, which I had, and that's it. That's why, unfortunately, even though this dude had a lot of, like, potential with the attacks that he did, he even had the poison status that he could apply to you when you got hit with his tail, and he had all of those ranged attacks and everything like that. He was really cool. I really liked the dude. Yeah, yeah, I feel like they should have boosted his resistances or something like that, and the fight would have been better. On to the actually hard ones. So the first one is Artorias of the Abyss. Obviously, this dude is straight up going into S tier. I feel like this is probably my favorite boss fight of the whole game. It just felt so good that he was like doing all of those quick attacks and you were quickly dodging and like hitting him back and going back and forth between attacks against him. It was really a joy to fight this dude. It really felt like I was back into my element when I from a time when I was like fighting in Elden Ring, all of those like humanoid bosses who had quick attacks, especially like for example Crucible Knights. I really enjoyed fighting against those, and this dude felt like the right dude for me in this game. Also, I really enjoyed that he was like foreshadowed. All of those areas were like linked to him, and it just felt like many of parts of the story that you encountered like came to a close when you finally like put him to rest. I also forgot about like the Sif. Yeah, right. The dog Sif. This was like his pet, and he was like guarding Artorias' grave, and uh, and later on, even like when we were closing in on like Manus, we found that like hole in the wall, and there was like a spirit of Sif guarding Artorias's shield. And like man, so many things like the cat Alvin. She was like telling us about Artorias, how he saved like this wood, and Elizabeth, the shroom, she was saying stuff about Artorias, and Marvelous Chester, the guy with the white mask that we encountered when we went back in time in the Royal Woods. Like so many like other characters and like parts of the game like hinted at Artorias. I think yeah, this was just best designed boss in this game, and like I don't know, I don't feel like any other boss in this game came even like close enough to this dude in terms of how well like everything was put together regarding this guy. Like yeah, we knew about Gwyn, but when we got to Gwyn, like did Gwyn deliver? No, he did not. He was just old, and the boss fight like it did pose a challenge, but only because I was not like used to fighting with a smaller sword and rolling that much. I was just used to tanking basically attacks. Yeah, so definitely Artorias is like the first one that stood out from the rest. Like Sanctuary Guardian also was fierce, but yeah, as I said, he didn't have enough HP. So yeah, we started quite strong with the DLC. Yeah, I do have to note again that I did fight the DLC bosses in the New Game Plus, so they did have more HP and more damage. They were dealing more damage, but that's besides the point. Like his attacks still, Artorias' attacks still were fast, and he did still do a lot of chain attacks and stuff like that, which was hard to dodge. Yeah, man, I cannot like say how much I enjoyed that fight. Like after all of these like gimmicky fights that we had, man, that was just a breath of fresh air. On to Manus, Father of the Abyss. At the time, when I was fighting him, I did not realize that this guy is actually the furtive pygmy. I only like understood that after Marvelous Chester said something to me, and yeah, also a friend of mine also later told me that Manus is actually furtive pygmy. But at the time when I was fighting Manus, I was like, okay, so there's this big dude, whoever knows, like, what is this guy? He's menacing and stuff like that, but at least he's not furtive pygmy that my friend told me about, who was supposed to be like insanely like strong, and I would have a really tough time when fighting him. So I was like, I was not like stressed when I was fighting this guy the other day. On the first day I was just like tired, so I just couldn't like beat him because of that. But on the second day, I kind of found this guy pretty easy until he started, like his second phase started. Man, I don't know, like maybe I'm just not good at dodging, but all of those like ability attacks, I just like couldn't get the hang of like dodging them. I really couldn't find my like rhythm versus those attacks, and I still feel like yeah, I did get like lucky against him that I finished him so early on. Like I did like die also against Artorias when I killed him, but I did feel like I don't know, like a couple tries later I would have beaten Artorias anyway. Against Manus, I kinda felt like I beat him earlier than I would expect to do it myself. I kinda got lucky against this guy. But actually, yeah, once I got the hang of the fight, I really liked it because you were like able to understand like what is he gonna do. Then like you just go away from him when he does that rage attack, when he does that 5-hit combo and stuff like that. You just walk away, you have time to heal and everything like that. Honestly, it felt like a pretty solid boss fight. So I'll leave him over here in the S tier, because he was also quite enjoyable, honestly, to fight against. Oh gosh, and yeah, this guy, Kalameet, Black Dragon Kalameet. Man, I really don't know actually where to put this guy. Like, it's so hard for me to judge how actually like strong and difficult he is for other people who were not in New Game Plus. Oh man, but okay, this is like my tier list, and if you watched like my playthrough, then you will understand why am I putting him where I am putting him. In terms of difficulty, this guy, man, I cannot really decide between S tier and A tier because like of the difficulty. Honestly, I might not put him in S tier because I did not like this boss fight. He was just like, I did not like fighting against him at all. It was so goddamn tedious. It just felt so undeserved every time when I died. Like, I die only because he does like so many chain attacks in a row that I have no time to heal, or he spews his like continuous fire breath, which just staggers me continuously and kills me. This guy just felt as unfair as anything in this game could feel. So I have like literally no clue where to put this guy. Like, okay, for like just because he's insanely difficult to deal with, I will leave him in A. Like in terms of how much I like the boss fight, honestly, I would like, I don't know, maybe C tier. Like, no, I enjoyed Sanctuary Guardian more, I think. D tier, probably for how much I like the boss fight, probably D tier. But because it was so difficult, uh, I guess I'll leave him in A tier, or maybe not. These are the annoying ones. Hard because annoying, hard because unfair ones. These ones are the ones. Maybe I should put Bell Gargoyles over here as well. Yeah, let's do it like that. Yeah, I feel like this is actually pretty good now that I look at it. I kinda like my layout, which I have going on right here. Maybe I should switch these guys around. Like this. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Like this. No, leave it. Okay, leave it for like that for now. Well, next up I have two of these bosses that I like didn't fight in my actual playthrough. I had to like do a bonus episode for these two. First one of these was Priscilla. She was in that painted world at the end of it. In my actual playthrough I chose not to kill her, but then I went back just to see for this tier list how strong is she, and turns out, like I suspected, she's not strong at all, and honestly she falls into E tier. She was like not doing anything much. She was even less of a threat than Asylum or Taurus Demon, since she was like so slow with her attacks. Like, her gimmick was super easy to like find out. Well, she went invisible and you could just like notice her footsteps on the snow, and then you knew where she was, and you could quickly dispose of her. But Dark Sun Gwyndolin, which we, I guess, revealed by also in that bonus episode by attacking Guinevere. Then there was that pathway that opened up behind the statue. She was a bit, yeah, like I wrote, she was in the video description, like I wrote, that she's tricksy, meaning that basically she's just like keeping you at bay with some like silly tactics, and when you get to her, then it's basically all over, which I do not enjoy very much. She was harder than Taurus and Asylum Demon, because she dealt really high amounts of damage with her like abilities, even though they like barely hit me. I managed to die, I think like twice to her, yeah. So yeah, I guess that places her above Nito. Man, Nito was like, I guess if Nito didn't have that one giant pillar in the middle of the map, then he probably would have been quite hard. But because you could just kite all of those like skellies around the pillar, that basically was his downfall, and so that's why he's so low on this list. Yeah, I kinda wanted that for this boss to have a second like phase or something like that. It would have been cool. Kind of fell short of my expectations overall. As you might have noticed, I have all of these like other dudes down here. They are considered like mini bosses in the game. I don't think I wanna list like rate all of them. I just have like two or three that, maybe two, that were like standing out to me, and I kind of thought that they should probably have included them as bosses, seeing how like Asylum Demon and Taurus Demon were bosses for me. For example, Hydra, this one was the one that was like in Darkroot Forest, or not really, like, well, next to like this Havel's like tower in that lake. Yeah, it was honestly quite hard to deal with this Hydra dude, since he was doing like all of those like long range attacks, those water like balls or whatever. They were like homing missiles. Keep in mind I had to fight this guy twice to get into DLC later as well. So yeah, I kind of had a lot of experience fighting with this dude, and in the first time around, I don't remember how many times I died, but the second time around it was even harder, and it was dealing like a lot more damage. And you know, the Hydra does that like salvo attack with many heads like in a row or all together. Maybe hitting you with one, if you're lucky, up to 3 heads can hit you, I think. So yeah, it's not actually that easy, because you can like dodge, and then one head who's coming at you like later, then that one hits you after you like dodged the previous like head that was quicker than the other one. Yeah, it was actually not that easy to deal with Hydra. I kind of feel like I honestly feel like I might even like put it above like all of these other like dudes, like before Grey Wolf Sith even. It was even, for me at least, even harder than that. Uh, Also, I think this guy should go up over here because of the map. Like that small area with all of those branches, I was getting stuck on them. I remember I had quite a couple of tries against this dude. Yeah, and I probably should switch up this like that, I feel like. Alright, yeah, let's leave it like that, yeah. Let's leave it like that. And the other one was Titanite Demon. I definitely want to put this guy in this list, since I decided that I'm going to kill him. I was like, I don't know how many, like, I definitely fought him for an hour, and I just couldn't get him. He was like doing all that tail stuff, like hitting me with his tail once I already rolled his like initial actual attack. He just like poked me with tail, half HP off. Yeah, what made it difficult was that you could meet this guy so early on in your playthrough, and you were like, at least I wasn't really equipped for this guy, so I ended up like cheesing. I'm speaking obviously about the first one, which is next to Andre the blacksmith. So I was not, yeah, I wasn't equipped for this dude. At least I think so. You could probably like kill him. I had a couple of like lucky like runs against him when I got close, but overall I ended up chasing this guy because it was a bit too hard for me. Probably once you like get better gear, and yeah, I also got better gear and met more of these guys obviously, and then I just quickly three-shot them basically. So they were not a big deal later on. But early on, this guy, for me, when I fought him, man, I kind of want to put him over there, but I don't think he was that hard. I think I will leave him, I think before Hydra, yeah. Chaos Switch, Quelaag, I don't know. Maybe like this, even. But this is only about like the first one, who is next to Andre, because of how early you meet him, and not like all the rest of them. You're super geared up when you meet the rest of them. So yeah, keep that in mind. He will like go over there. Uh, the rest of these guys, I don't think I want to put them. Oh yeah, right. No, I want to put this guy over here. So this guy, it's the like undead or how you would say hollow like spear soldier. This particular one was the one who is under the bridge beneath Hellkite Drake. When you wanna go to that rat room and later on like towards the Fangbor. Man, I don't know what the fuck was in that guy's like breakfast when I needed to get past him on that day. He was just so goddamn annoying, and he was not like letting me get past him that I just have to put him on this list. He was so annoying and inconvenient for me because he was over there. I lost so many like lives to him that I think I should probably have him in at least C tier, somewhere around over there. I have to put him above fucking great wolf Sith. Yeah, I will leave him over here. He was so annoying. I couldn't stand that guy. Like, I didn't know how to kick, and I couldn't get past him. And when I was like hitting him on his shield with my what kind of weapon did I have? I had the first weapon still, or maybe claymore. But I was striking his shield, and he was like, "Okay, now you hit me, now I hit you back," and I could like fucking get rid of this guy like properly. Yeah, he was so annoying, so I leave him over there. All of these guys were not really posing any like big challenges or anything like that. I guess Fangor was a bit of a hard dude, or maybe this fuck, I forgot what is his name. This knight dude. Yeah, I forgot. Never mind. Yeah, so that's my tier list, I think. Should I switch something around? Maybe Seath the Scaleless doesn't deserve to be so low. I should probably put him like... I should probably put him here, I feel like, and then move this Sith guy down over here. And I feel like I did like injustice to this guy. I don't feel like he deserves to be so low on the list. But like I said, like I got in between his like front legs and then he just couldn't hit me with his sword on my second attempt, so that's why I finished him off so quickly. I don't know, exploit or not, I got rid of him quickly. Sorry dog, you did a good job defending your master's grave. Yeah, so that's it. So basically that's my tier list. And yeah, see you in Dark Souls 2, I guess.